So I think we all had a lot of questions when it comes to The Mandalorian, especially when The Mandalorian Season 3 would end up coming out. Ever since the Book of Boba Fett was announced at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, I think a lot of us were pretty confused about that announcement. Does that mean that there won't be a Mandalorian Season 3? That was pretty quickly cleared up by Jon Favreau, that there will be a Mandalorian Season 3. It will just be after the Book of Boba Fett, and apparently they were supposed to start filming The Mandalorian Season 3 right after the Book of Boba Fett, but that didn't end up happening for whatever reason. That got pushed back, and that got me kind of skeptical about The Mandalorian Season 3. I thought that they would probably, if there was no problems on the set or no problems behind the scenes, that they would probably just end up starting that production immediately after the Book of Boba Fett, and that didn't end up happening. So I thought that there was definitely some things going on behind the scenes. Turns out there was, with Pedro Pascal and maybe a couple of other people as well, but mainly Pedro Pascal and Jon Favreau were apparently at odds with each other when it comes to the set and the production of The Mandalorian, and now Pedro Pascal is also doing the Last of Us series. He's not really focused on The Mandalorian anymore. He's more focused on doing his other stuff where he can actually show his face. And now we have even more problems when it comes to The Mandalorian, but also other properties as well, not just The Mandalorian, but also Secret Invasion and more, rumored for 90-day shutdown. So this could be at least a 90-day shutdown. It could even be more if things go wrong. Hopefully it's only 90 days, but it could be more. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I didn't even think that The Mandalorian Season 3 would end up coming out in 2022. I always thought that was kind of wishful thinking, and we'll go over what I think and what a lot of other people think is going to be the real release date for The Mandalorian Season 3 going forward, if The Mandalorian Season 3 ever does get released. I mean, they started production, apparently, they started production, which I never thought would ever happen, because it seemed like every single week someone came out and said The Mandalorian Season 3 is starting production very soon. It seemed like they were saying that for months and months. But they never ended up really starting it. But apparently they did start the production. Apparently the filming did begin on The Mandalorian Season 3. So that's a good sign. But if you don't know, let's go through what is going on right now when it comes to The Mandalorian Season 3 and when it comes to Aquaman, when it comes to Secret Invasion, stuff like that. The entertainment industry had been bracing itself for the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees to go on strike, with the union seeking to guarantee reasonable expenses and breaks for crew members in a movement that has potential to grind Hollywood to a standstill should it end up happening. Now, a lot of things have been happening in the world right now, especially in America. I'm not going to get too far into politics, but the economy is not looking too great. There are labor shortages everywhere right now. The US dollar is looking like it's going to crash, or at least drop in value when it comes to the holidays. Things are not looking good right now. This strike isn't the only one that's going on, but it is one of the only ones that the media will cover. You should look into a lot of other ones as well that I'm not going to go into, because like I said, I'm not going to do politics on this channel, but there's a lot of other strikes going on right now. Major labor shortage, a lot of Walgreens closing down, a lot of businesses closing down everywhere. Everyone's looking for employees right now. No one wants to work because they're not paying enough and they want you to work more hours than normal. But recent chatter indicated that Monday would be the day the strike would begin, but the freshest reports are claiming it could happen as soon as today. 60,000 film and television workers will be affected in one way or another, and some of the biggest productions in town are in real danger of being forced to shut shop for up to 90 days. As per Murphy's Multiverse, that would include Star Wars series The Mandalorian, the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Secret Invasion, HBO Max's The Last of Us, Warner Bros., and DC Films' Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and many, many more, all of which could end up costing their respective studios millions of dollars. Now, the good news is the bulk of the Star Wars 2022 content doesn't seem like it's going to be affected by this, mainly the Kenobi series. I know that's the one that everyone's kind of worried about. That's the one that everyone's pretty much focused on. That's the one that all the hype is really around, especially when it comes to me personally. That's the one I care about the most. As long as the Kenobi series is coming out in 2022, I'm fine with The Mandalorian being delayed to 2023. I'm fine with The Mandalorian not coming out at all. Obviously I would rather see The Mandalorian Season 3 because they have a story set up that seems like it's going to be very good when it comes to the future of The Mandalorian. Obviously I want to see that, but I would rather sacrifice The Mandalorian to have that Kenobi show come out and be able to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor together on screen again. That's going to be amazing. You possibly could even see Ahsoka in live action with them in some flashbacks or something like that. That's the series I want to see. We also have Andor, and I believe we have one other series coming out in 2022, but I forgot. I can't think of it off the top of my head. We also have The Bad Batch coming out in 2022. There's a lot of Star Wars content in 2022, and a lot of people were saying, like Coach from Ego Base Network, saying that it's going to be the renaissance of Star Wars, and this could kind of ruin that. Let's check out actually what they had to say down here. Well, there's a possibility the strike could be averted. The chances of that happening are set to be very slim at the moment. Even high-profile titles like Obi-Wan Kenobi and/or Hawkeye and Ms. Marvel would be left gathering dust, so it could have a widespread effect on the theatrical network, cable, and streaming schedules. Now, they said that it could be left gathering dust, but I've heard multiple reports saying that Kenobi will be safe, because as soon as I heard about this strike a long time ago, that's the first thing I looked up. Is Obi-Wan Kenobi going to be able to come out on time? And it looks like it is going to be able to come out on time. The main show that they're worried about is The Mandalorian, because they haven't even finished filming. Really, they just began production on that show. They just began filming for that show. So I know a lot of you already are going to say, well, we got this covered. It's not legit. Not everything that we got this covered says is wrong just because they make up rumors sometimes. Whenever they're reporting something that's widespread like this, I like to use their articles because they come out very early. They're very fast when it comes to their reporting. And they have well-written articles. A lot of these other articles are very, they have grammar errors everywhere, and I hate reading them. But We Got This Covered actually does very well when it comes to the writing of their articles. But just because I know a lot of you will say that, here is another article saying the same thing. Murphy's Multiverse, rumor The Mandalorian, Secret Invasion, and many more productions are set to shut down for 90 days due to IATSE strike. And here is an article from Inside the Magic saying that strike could mean there's not a chance The Mandalorian releases before 2023. I don't think it will. I don't even think it will with the strike, without the strike. I don't think it matters. I think this show is 100% coming out 2023, maybe early to mid 2023. I've been predicting around May of 2023 for a long time. This was even before I heard that the strike was happening. I just think that that's where it's most likely to release, because for whatever reason, it's been taking them a long time to film these shows like Book of Boba Fett, like Andor, like Kenobi. It's just been taking them a long time, a lot longer than normal for whatever reason. I don't know if that has anything to do with, the virus that's going on. I can't say the word obviously on YouTube, but I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I don't know what the reasoning is, but it's just taking them a long time, and we still haven't really seen any marketing for Andor. We haven't seen any marketing for Book of Boba Fett, which is coming out in only a couple of months. Hopefully we get a trailer for that soon, but we haven't even seen anything for that yet. So, I mean, who knows what's going on right now behind the scenes. I wasn't too confident that The Mandalorian Season 3 would come out on time anyway, but now that there's this strike and it could shut down for 90 days, if it does end up shutting down for 90 days, that's going to kind of put the nail in the coffin for The Mandalorian Season 3 coming out in 2022. I think it might come out in 2023. I think that maybe there's too much problems behind the scenes with The Mandalorian Season 3, and where they won't even release it at all. That is a possibility. If Pedro Pascal and Jon Favreau are really at odds that much with each other, they might just cancel the series altogether. I don't know. This is obviously not likely, but it is possible. I really hope that doesn't happen. I really, really do. I hope it comes out on time. I hope it doesn't get delayed at all. But it does seem like this strike is going to affect the show quite a lot. Like I said, doesn't affect Obi-Wan Kenobi, doesn't affect Andor. From everything that I've heard, let me know if you've heard anything different. I hope that I'm right on that. I hope that all the reports that I read are right on that. But like I said, let me know if you know anything different about this strike, because I'm not too well versed in this kind of stuff. I did work in the industry for a little bit. I did really want to be in that industry for a long time. Glad I'm not in there anymore, because it is, not a place that I want to be, to say the least. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. What are you thinking about The Mandalorian possibly being pushed back to 2023, maybe even mid 2023? Or what do you think about the show as a whole? What do you think about what's going on behind the scenes? Let me know what you think about this whole situation. If you did enjoy this video though, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the links to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.